Jones's Diary is the story of 365 days in the life of one single British woman. Before Helen Fielding's book hit the bestseller lists, the movie rights had already been snapped up.
It's really exciting. The funny thing about Bridget Jones is that no one ever expected it to be anything. I started writing it as a newspaper column, which I assumed would be stopped after 6 weeks for being too silly. And then it just gradually built up. It became a book, and then the book sold a peculiar amount of copies, and then made into a film.
Only because of the responsibility that I felt to Helen Fielding, because she created such a beautiful character, and to the other people on the film, because I didn't want to be the weak link, and also because I knew that this book meant a lot to people, and it meant a lot to me.
I've known and loved the book for ages, and it was actually slightly against anyone making a film of it, because like all books you love, you think they're going to wreck it. But thankfully, I don't think we have.
Of course, when a book is hugely popular, it's going to be set against a harder standard. But, you know, if the film's good, it doesn't matter how much it departs from the book. I think that's going to answer every criticism that there could be.
When I first read Bridget Jones's Diary, the book, I just laughed like an idiot and thought, this is very funny, and this is my life and Helen's life and so many other people's life, and this is very brave to put this down in a book, because it was a bit of a taboo subject. You know, a lot of 30-something women secretly terrified as to why they hadn't found the right man, but nobody daring to say, look, I think I'm a scary, tragic spinster. What shall I do about it?
How does it look?
Great. It's blue.
Blue?
No, but blue is good. If you ask me, there isn't enough blue food.
Oh, it must have been the string.
No, it's string soup.
Oh God, they're going to be here any minute.
Director Sharon Maguire considered some of the best actresses that England had to offer for the role of Bridget Jones, but it was Golden Globe winner Renee Zellweger who snagged the coveted role of the weight-obsessed, man-tormented single Englishwoman.
The fact that Renee was a Texan was an immediate anxiety, of course, but I met her and loved her and liked her and thought she had this fantastic, as I say, innocence and irreverence all at once. And then I thought, oh, I guess she's a Texan. What are we going to do about that then?
Well, recently we've been having quite a lot of success with teaser campaigns to precede actual publication, so we've decided to really go for that this time.
At the start of the new year, the 30-something singleton decides to take control of her life and begins to keep a diary.
Resolution number 1. We'll find nice, sensible boyfriend to go out with and not continue to form romantic attachments to any of the following: alcoholics, workaholics, commitment phobics, peeping toms, megalomaniacs, or perverts.
And she's struggling with trying to find herself and trying to discover what makes her happy, trying to make choices.
Renee's first challenge was to trade in her Texas twang for a British accent.
I worked with a dialect coach, of course, every day to get that part of it down.
That was the big question mark over casting her, and I think there were elements of the British press who were kind of up in arms about having this American come in and play a famous English literary character. But, I mean, she nailed it. She's going to ram that criticism down their throats, because she got it completely.
She's perfect at it. And she, as far as I was concerned, she was perfect the day I met her.
And she spoke like that, doing her scenes and off set as well. So it was very sinister on the last day for the rap party when she suddenly came up and was talking to me in her Texan accent. You thought, who is this girl?
Is it because I'm overweight that things never work out?
Yes.
Bridget may be trying to lose weight, but Renee had to flesh out for the role by gaining 15 pounds.
Change my lifestyle a little bit so that it would be more like Bridget Jones' lifestyle, so that physically, you know, I could represent it more legitimately that way.
I mean, it's overpowering, as we all know, the cult of being thin if you're a woman. And to see a woman, particularly a Hollywood-based actress, drinking pints of Guinness and having extra cheese on her pizza, was an absolutely extraordinary spectacle.
When Renee put weight on, she was still much thinner than me, which I found rather depressing.
Major dilemma. If actually do, by some terrible chance, end up in flagrante, surely these will be most attractive at crucial moment. However, chances of actually reaching crucial moment greatly increased by wearing these.
Bridget has her eyes on one man in particular.
Unfortunately, he just happens to be my boss, Daniel Cleaver. We'll persevere with resolution to find a nice, sensible man. We'll put a stop to flirting. Tomorrow.
And who better to be the object of Renee's affections than the dashing Hugh Grant?
He cavalierly throws in some dry comment every now and then, which is a big part of who he is, I think, and I loved it. It made the days so much fun.
Now, these are very silly little boots, Joan. And this is a very silly little dress. And, these for me, absolutely enormous pants. Jesus. No, I don't apologise. I like them.
Bridget is definitely prone to falling for the wrong guy for bastards. That's her thing.
I'm sorry, I have to have another look. They're too good to be. No. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. I'm wearing something quite similar myself. Yeah, I'll show you.
Still to come, Renee Zellweger gets schooled in booze, tobacco, and breed.
I moved to England.
Plus, Renee takes her career to new heights.
All women sort of share in terms of the female experience.
Have you met Miss Jones?
Ah, Bridget! There you are!
In Bridget Jones's diary, Texas sweetheart Renee Zellweger sets her sights abroad as she travels to merry old England.
I moved to England in February, and I hung out and looked around and became familiar with the language and her cultural and social references that were not familiar to me.
Have you got a boyfriend? A real one?
I have, Father. I have. And he's perfect.
The secret diary of Bridget Jones tells the harrowing, hilarious, yet hopeful truth about life as a single woman in her 30s.
Hurrah! I'm no longer tragic spinster in manner of Eleanor Rigby, but proper girlfriend, a bona fide sex god. This can't be just forgive. A mini break means true love. May I help you?
Daniel Cleaver and Bridget Jones.
Bridget's caught between Grant's Daniel Cleaver, who may be too good, and Mark Darcy, played by Colin Firth, a man who's so wrong he could be Mr. Right.
What a shame you couldn't bring your boyfriend, Bridget. What's his name? David? Darren?
Daniel Cleaver.
I hope he's good enough for our little Bridget.
I think I can say with total confidence, absolutely not. I was amazed. With Renee, I found myself thinking, what's the catch? What's the catch? She's attractive, she's successful, she's talented, and she's wonderful with everybody. Something's going to have to happen. And it never did.
You know, she kind of gives us a look into, well, gives especially men, a look into intimate moments that all women sort of share in terms of the female experience.
370, take 2, B camera. C camera. Action.
It is seriously no wonder bunnies have so many children.
And the life of Bridget Jones took Renee on many wild and crazy adventures.
Oh well, here we go. Trying hard to fight off a vision of Mum and Auntie Una in fishnet tights. For 6-year-olds to dress up as prostitutes and priests on a Sunday afternoon does seem unnatural.
Ah, Bridget, there you are. Don't worry, you're not the only one. This is Penny. Geoffrey didn't get in touch with her either.
Where are all the other tarts and knickers?
Oh dear, didn't Geoffrey call you? Geoffrey, didn't you telephone Colin and Bridget?
How's my little Bridget?
Because she has a sort of an irreverent inner voice, we know that we can trust her because we know we've all been in those sort of similar situations of fouling up. But inside we think, I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. But here I am fouling up very badly.
Tie flavour enhancing leek and celery together with strain.
Living the life of Bridget Jones also tested Renee's physical prowess.
Bridget Jones, where are you?
I'm here, Richard.
All right, put on some more makeup. I want you on camera. I'm thinking mini skirt, I'm thinking fireman's helmet. I want you pointing a hose, I want you sliding down the pole and then go straight into the interview.
Great. I'll do it.
I know she's a very good actress, and I know she puts a lot of hard work and dedication into transforming herself into the person. And so I trusted her that she would get it right.
You drop in a shot and then interview Chief Fireman Bevan. Yeah, go, 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 go!
Oh no, we're going to 5,000 Newcastle first.
Stop! Climb back up! On you in 30 seconds!
Okay. She's in a period in her life where she's faced with all sorts of challenges.
She's supposed to be sliding down the pole, not climbing up it.
Go, 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 go!
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're out of time, just wind her up.
Sorry. Well, that seems to be about all we've got time for. And now, back to the studio.
Still to come, meet the debonair Brits that Renee Zellweger broods over.
I always have these sort of male heroes who are absolutely charming but wicked.
Plus, see the filming of a big Hollywood fight scene that goes awry.
You know, wrestling and hair pulling and stuff.
Have you met Miss Jones?
What happens at the office?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. You see...
Welcome back to a behind-the-scenes look at Renee Zellweger in the comedy Bridget Jones's Diary.
Hang on a minute, Jones. Just slow down. It started on Tuesday nights, Thursdays. It's not exactly a long-term relationship yet, is it?
Very bad. Bridget Jones, wanton sex goddess. Mom!
The irrepressible Bridget Jones finds herself the focus of more attention than she could have ever imagined. British heartthrobs Hugh Grant and Colin Firth are in a battle for Bridget's affections.
Close bosom friend, maturing son.
Have you heard this one? There was a young woman from Ealing who had a peculiar feeling. She lay on her back.
You know, women, our generation of women, aren't supposed to look for male approval. We're not supposed to want to find the perfect man. We're supposed to be happy with our career and our financial status and not give a bugger about male approval, and yet we do. And we do worry about finding the right chap, and Helen was brave enough to point that out.
No, you stay away! No!
I always have these sort of male heroes who are absolutely charming but wicked. So in some ways, it's nice because Hugh is kind of the archetype of that idea. Because he has got that delicious, wicked sense of humour, and you can absolutely imagine how, if you fell for Hugh, even if he wasn't calling you and he was mucking you around, you just wouldn't be able to let him go because he's so gorgeous.
I'm boarding you, Bridget. I can't see an alternative. I'm king of the world! No! Me?
I think he's hysterical, and he's nice, and so intelligent, and his humor reflects that.
Oh, piss and bollocks. All right, that's it.
Stupid ass.
I'm freezing, Rose. I'm freezing. I'm drowning. Oh. All right, let's start going for a swim.
I'm such a neurotic actor now that I don't really have fun. I just kind of tearing my hair out and worrying. And yes, I'm a little pool of misery and otherwise a sea of happiness. And so.
All right, I'll just have a quiet drink. Hey, Doss! Come on in!
But Colin Firth plays the ace to Hugh Grant's rogue in the film's skewed love triangle.
I actually created the part of Mark Darcy for Colin Firth because Bridget was obsessed with Colin Firth herself when she saw him playing Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice. So it's a kind of postmodern blurring of realities.
He is completely closed up, for whatever reason. It's painful to him to make small talk or even to speak a lot of the time.
I don't think you're an idiot at all. I mean, there are elements of the ridiculous about you. And you tend to let whatever's in your head come out of your mouth without much consideration of the consequences. What I'm trying to say, very inarticulately, is that, in fact, perhaps despite appearances, I like you very much, just as you are.
The snobbish Mark Darcy and the caddish Daniel Cleaver fight a bitter battle for the hand of the lovely Bridget.
All right, Cleaver, outside.
I'm sorry? Outside? Should I bring my dueling pistols or my sword? We were very keen to do a fight. How two middle-class, educated Englishmen would fight.
I mean, the things that stick in my mind are the fight. It's one of the few occasions when I've ever shot a scene where it made people laugh in the moment we shot it and makes people laugh on the screen afterwards. It very often doesn't go together.
It's a real fight!
Just sort of tragic attempts to kick each other and, you know, wrestling and hair pulling and stuff.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's all right.
I really am sorry.
Come on, everybody.
I will pay.
Enough, Darcy.
To you.
Happy birthday, dear Williams.
Happy birthday to you.
Still to come. Want to take a peek at some cast members' own secret diaries?
Love to read other people's diaries.
Have you met Miss Jones?
You seem to go out of your way to try to make me feel like a complete idiot every time I see you. And you really needn't bother. I already feel like an idiot most of the time anyway.
I mean, it was quite a leap of faith on the part of everybody involved in this project, and was really grateful for the opportunity.
In Bridget Jones's diary, we see Bridget's written secrets come to life. But the cast revealed their opinions about keeping personal and classified information in a journal.
No, I don't. I'm too lazy.
Yeah, sporadically. And it's very, very embarrassing to read them back.
So I don't really want to leave the evidence behind as well. I think it's, you know, it's a great freedom to reinvent oneself through life. And I think diaries leave far too many traces of, you know, what you might have left behind.
4 hours of careful cooking and a feast of blue soup, omelette and marmalade.
Thank you.
I think that deserves a toast, don't you? To Bridget, who cannot cook, but who we love, just as she is.
And I love to read other people's diaries, if you can possibly get hold of them. And I'm an expert at finding them. I once read a girlfriend's diary when I was still at university, and it said, I don't know why I go out with you. I don't love him. I don't even like him.
I've been going crazy. I can't stop thinking about you and thinking what a f***ing idiot I've been.
You couldn't get worse entry in a diary than that. But I'm not 100% sure she didn't mean me to find that one.
Did I really run round your lawn naked?
Oh, yes. You were 4 and I was 8.
It's quite pervy, really.
Yes, I like to think so.
It's quite pervy, really.